Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hideaway Open 2022 coverage brought to you by Odyssey Disc Golf. We've got myself, Kelso, and Cannon over here to my left. This is going to be the back nine of the final round lead card coverage. And what are we looking at here for the back nine?
Yeah, so coming into the back nine, we have Chandler at -1, GT at even, Emerson at 1 over, and Fredy at 3 over. Coming into the final round, Chandler and Emerson were tied, so they are 2 strokes apart right now. So it'll be a tight race coming down the stretch for both of them. First up, we have GT here on hole 10, 406-foot par 3. Got about 350 feet of water carry. Gonna want to throw a big hyzer that swings in there late, and he knows it out of his hand. He left that out a little right.
He was asking for the left, and he will be out in the open. He might have an obstructed look for the putt. And again, Chandler, we've got his forehand coming into play here. Over the top, looking good. Decent amount of turn on it. This looks like a great shot if he's got the distance. Ended up hyzering off right. Wow, got a kick up and left, so he will have a look at the 2, I think, from there.
Fredy gonna go more of the low, straight at it route. Try and get it into that hillside. And yeah, it skips up that hill a little bit, so he may be far enough to be out of the trees.
Emerson going with his drive here, I believe. A lot of hyzer on that, gets the turn. A little too much turn, and he knows it. He turns around. He's going to be up there, but not a look at the birdie, I don't think. In between him and the basket, there is this tree that you see here now. And GT is somewhere, I believe. There he is. A little hard, probably what, 35 feet maybe, 30, 35 from the basket now.
Yeah, for the comebacker. I don't think Emerson has a look to run it.
No, too low of a ceiling. He'll have a 20-foot par putt there.
Fredy did end up with a good birdie look.
And cashes it.
Nice. What a way to start off the back nine here for Fredy. He needed to get that stroke back. And Chandler still hasn't putt yet, so he must still be closer than GT and Emerson are now.
Yeah, I think we see his lie right there, just in front of Emerson. A 15-foot birdie putt. Emerson, dead center, great putt by him. That'll be a par. Oh no, that was not his lie. I don't know what that was on the ground, but here is Chandler for the birdie. And what a great putt. That'll start off him with a birdie for the back nine.
And I asked Chandler what he was putting with after the round. I believe that's a slammer.
Oh,
so
cool.
Old school slammer.
Yeah. So hole 11 here, 781-foot par 4. Players are just going to play a big turnover, I guess. Hyzer. Well, not Chandler. He's obviously going with the forehand. A little bit too much turn here. Going to cut roll to the center.
Yeah, he'll still have about 400, maybe even 450 from there.
And when I say turnover, I mean a little less stable of a disc. Put a little hyzer on it and let it flip to turn as he throws a turnover. So good distance. That's about the landing zone that you're looking at. GT going with his D2 here. There's that hyzer flip I was talking about. Not enough turn though, but he will end up in that good landing zone as well.
Yeah, he'll have a big hyzer from over there. Emerson's got his Ballista Pro in his hand. Gonna look to put a move on this one.
A lot of hyzer, gets the turn. Lots of turn here. As long as he stays away from those trees, he'll be good. Kind of pan, never really flex back, and he'll be on the right side of the fairway there. Should have a decent look at the approach. Chandler once again with his forehand. Looking nice. Gets a little bit of turn out of it from the get-go. Coming right into the basket. Huge flare skip right. He'll be off pin high probably, maybe 40 or 50 foot. Look for the birdie.
Almost made it for a 400-foot eagle throw in.
Yeah, yep. GT must have thrown a putter or a understable mid there. Gets a nice flip up and ground play right into the basket.
Yeah, if you're a predominant backhand player, honestly, being a little left on this fairway is going to be a positive because it leaves open just that soft hyzer into the green. You can see Fredy kind of had these trees in his head here and has to go with the big hyzer and just lets it swing a little too much left on him. He'll probably have about 45 to 50 feet for this birdie. Yeah, Chandler did skip a little long here. Got that low ceiling to deal with. And just lays that up. He'll take his par and move on to the next hole. Emerson's approach looks like it went a little long. Gonna have about 45 feet here. Oh, swings went up there just a little too high and left to catch in that basket.
Fredy with the cage again, just leaving it a little low on line. He'll be tapping in for the par though. GT with the solo birdie.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna get a stroke on everyone there. All right, GT gets a stroke back there. Everyone else takes their par, so going into, what are we on now? Hole 12? Hole 12, 373 foot par 3. Gonna want to get out of this tunnel. It opens up a little bit. The basket is perched up on that hill just in front of a pond, as you can see on the T sign there in the top left. Most players are gonna go with the backhand here.
Can you guess what Chandler's going to throw on this hole, Cannon?
I think he's going to venture out and throw a left-handed backhand.
Okay. I see. Very clever. And here's your left-handed backhand here. A little bit too much turn out of the hand. Get some ground play and a little bit of a gap there maybe. Coming up, gets to the top of the dam there, and that's an impressive shot. He'll have a nice look at the birdie without the fear of the pond behind his putt.
Did Emerson go forehand in round 1?
I don't remember.
There you go.
I want to say he went forehand in round 1 and switched up here for the final round. Results a little bit better. He does look like he has a birdie putt.
Here's a one and only backhand from Chandler Kramer and puts it right under the pin.
Man
Wow.
threw one backhand the entire round and it almost goes in.
Emerson with this was a headwind coming into him as well. Death putt and cashes it.
I mean, if he misses any of that basket, it is going straight into the pond behind it and he's out of bounds. That is a clutch time putt from Emerson.
Yep.
Man, Fredy just not giving that the height for the birdie. Should be able to cash his par putt there.
Ooh, and GT just off the cage, about 3 feet closer for his par putt here.
Yeah, with that headwind, it looks like he just left the nose of that putter down a little bit.
Yeah, and
it just pushed it right into the cage.
Yep. Chandler gonna tap in his par with the nice backhand approach. All right, going into hole 13, we've got 396 foot par 3. Players are gonna play the big hyzer around the cedar you see in the middle and just have it skip into the basket. This green is very quick as it slopes downhill behind and to the left of it. So you really want to skip out wide, kind of like Emerson's doing here, and that's a great shot by Emerson. He'll be 10 foot.
Yep, he learned from round 1, didn't quite swing it out wide enough. Still got the birdie in round 1, but this one's going to be a much easier putt.
Yeah. Chandler going with the forehand here. I did see a few players opt for this, and I think a lot of that has to do with how fast this green is coming in with the backhand. So you'll see him playing more of the kind of a spike into the green action, and he'll be behind that bush, it looked like. So this hole actually played as the second easiest hole at 1 over par, 11 being the easiest. It's the only hole on the course that played under par at 0.1 strokes under par.
Only hole on the course playing under par.
Yep.
Wow.
GT lining up his drive here. Hoping to swing it wide enough.
Asking for it to go. He's going to be short left. There is some brush down there. It's going to be very difficult for him to find some footing, I think.
Fredy with his birdie look. Left it a little low. You can't really tell from the camera angle, but that is much lower down there in that bottom. Probably 6 to 10 foot. I'm not sure. GT coming just from the basket and does roll away a little bit. He'll have a tough comebacker there. Emerson just going to tap out real quick. For the birdie. Good birdie by Emerson Keith. As we thought, Chandler's right in this bush. We called this the Emerson bush, right?
In round 1, yeah.
Yep.
Hole 14, 368 feet. Most players are going to go for the high spike hyzer into this green, so it's really going to require more of 450 feet of power instead of 368. Emerson's trying to show you that high spike and hyzer now.
Looking pretty good. This is almost a 100% blind shot, and really you just kind of hope it gets the best plinko?
Yeah, that's kind of what players are looking to do. Just throw it up there and let the trees drop you next to the basket.
Chandler obviously going with the forehand. Gets some nice initial flip out of it, and looking pretty good. Maybe a little early?
I mean, even to get anywhere near the basket with a forehand on this hole requires so much forehand power.
Yeah, he's really showcasing that here.
Going for the route less traveled.
Good skip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think he ended up 15 feet on the back edge of the green there. GT going to the big fairway in the sky. Looking pretty good. We'll see what it looks like when we eventually get down to the green. So here's Chandler with his forehand, ended up just a little short. Obstructed approach. Looks like he has to go for a touch forehand here from a knee. And he does 15 foot for the par.
Yep. This is Emerson. So Emerson ended up a little short and left. Oh, gave that a run. Caught some metal. We saw GT cash a putt from down there in the first round.
Having to do a touch forehand from a knee as well. He's going to be a tap in for the par.
So yeah, Fredy did end up a little long here. Like you said, probably 15, 20 feet. Taking the solo birdie.
Great birdie by Fredy.
Wow.
That's a little unconventional way to cash a putt, but hey, they don't ask how, they just ask how many.
And just like that, Chandler is now 3 strokes ahead of Emerson going into hole 15. If Emerson wants to make a move, he's going to have to start now.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is where his putt on hole 12 came into play. That headwind to OV putt, he just has to be aggressive at this point. So hole 15, 575 foot par 4. Players are going to go to, again, the big fairway in the sky and hope to just get to the landing zone you see there on the T sign and then have their upshot for the birdie.
Fade.
This hole played as the second hardest hole on the course at 1.1 strokes over par. So Fredy a little short, right? I mean, a little short left, but right isn't correct.
Yeah, didn't quite push that far enough to get to the landing zone. Emerson got his Opto Ballista Pro in his hand.
Yeah, looks good. Looks really good. Nice shot in.
That is far. If you get down by that old deer feeder on this hole, you have a very, or at least much easier look than you would have at the basket.
And it looked like he didn't get much of a skip either, so it's actually going to be perfect for him. And Chandler with the forehand.
Flex forehand over the forest. And he's down there past the deer feeder. That is insane. And again, GT showing the more traditional line.
And you see, he got the skip that Emerson didn't, so he's going to be somewhat pinched for his approach to the green.
Yeah.
Here's Fredy here, opting for the forehand on the knee. I like watching him throw because he's got a lot of what looks like effortless distance. He's just got a lot of power. He's a bigger guy. He probably works out. He's got a lot of power, so I like watching him throw.
Yeah, like you said, GT just having to pitch out there. Emerson, a great look at the basket here. Gonna throw a flex forehand with his Explorer, I believe.
A little early release looks like maybe, but he'll get up to the green with the reverse skip.
Yeah.
That was nice. You should have a look at birdie from there. He asked for it to go right, and maybe not that much right, but it sure did. Kicked right off the tree, and he'll be a little short of the green there.
Careful what you wish for.
Chandler catching an unlucky tree as well on his way to the green. He will be looking at an up and down for par from there.
And that's huge for Emerson. He has a birdie look into this basket, and Chandler has to get up and down for a par here. So potential for a stroke swing, maybe even two.
Chandler kicking down, and he's going to be parked. Hanging that a little wide right. He'll have about a 15-foot comebacker from there.
Emerson closer than I thought.
Good putt by Emerson Keith to cash in the birdie on this one.
Chandler's got about 20 feet, 25 feet for his par here. And that is right on the stripe.
And I don't think we've seen Chandler struggle with his putting. He's pretty on from inside the circle on his putting so far. So.
Yep, and he limits the damage there to only one stroke, losing one stroke to Emerson.
Yep. GT on his comebacker. Just off right, chains out. He'll be able to tap in for the double bogey.
Yep. All right, and just like that, Emerson is now within 2 strokes here. So 2 strokes behind. We got 3 holes left. Hole 16, 316-foot par 3. Dogleg to the right. Players are going to want to throw a forehand here and flare skip towards the basket because it is almost like a 90-degree turn once you get to the corner of this fairway.
Yeah, I think you see he gets a tree on the left side of the fairway, kicks right. What you'll see on this hole a lot is players pushing too far straight before they get the skip and ending up in the rough straight ahead. Go Fredy with a forehand, looking pretty good, and maybe pushed too far straight and got that tree dead ahead.
Please miss it.
Didn't really get the flare skip that he needed, but he's okay with it, so we'll see what he's looking at when we get up there. This one looked nice from GT. I didn't see the skip, but it looked nice off the tee.
So Emerson ended up way tucked in the woods. He tries to go with the flick roller, doesn't get all the way out, so he's still a little pinched on the approach.
Yeah, so I guess GT went a little inside here and caught a tree, and he'll be up there 35 foot for the par putt.
Yeah, just outside circle. So, I mean, Emerson's about 100 feet away and has a stiletto in his hand. Early releases, catches that tree. Emerson is going to definitely be losing some strokes here to Chandler. It's just a matter of how many.
And once again, Fredy with the jump putt from a long ways away and catches a tree on the left.
Yeah, good approach there from Chandler. I mean, that's all he wanted to do on this hole. He knows he's playing with a lead right now, so anything, par or better is okay with him.
Emerson from a knee and throws it in for the 4. What a forehand from Emerson Keith from a knee with a harp, I believe.
Yeah, that was his harp, and he is scrapping right now. I mean, you can never count Emerson out. He's always going to battle.
Yep. GT here leaving a little short, catching the cage, and he'll tap in for a 4. Wow.
Thought that was in and just a little low left and jumps out of the cage. I mean, a little work here for Chandler. That's not an easy putt. He's got a little straddle to deal with, but it's easy for him.
So getting another stroke on Emerson on this hole. Emerson dropping back to even. Chandler staying at 3 down. Going into hole 17 here, it's a 480-foot par 4 tight tunnel shot. Players are going to want to play a nice 300 to 400-foot shot right up the middle to a landing zone, and then have a nice look at the birdie. Chandler begging for his disc to go right, and we'll see where he ended up when we get down there.
Emerson threw a great shot in round 1 here with this same disc. I think, is that his Rive?
I think it's an Explorer.
Okay. He's got one in yellow like his Rive then.
Yep.
I think that's really good. Nice shot, yeah.
And that was a phenomenal shot. Didn't get any trees, and he'll play right to the perfect landing zone.
Stay up.
That looks fantastic.
Sit.
Little forward pushing skip. I think he may have creeped into the left side rough. May have some sort of step out forehand from there.
GT going with that same flippy disc that we've been seeing him throw a lot here on these courses. This course.
Nice shot.
I mean, as you can see, Chandler likes his forehand so much he'd rather step out around 2 trees than take the open backhand look on the left-hand side. What a great shot.
Emerson a little off to the right here, but he had a lot of forward progress, so he's looking at a nice up and down for the birdie. Kicked right off a tree, though.
Yeah, that's still going to be about 70 feet probably from the basket. GT doing some course maintenance there. Yeah, so like I thought, Fredy did creep off into the left side of the fairway, but he was so far up there that he was able to just pitch out and up into the circle.
Yep. GT from a knee, getting a nice little run there, but he'll tap in for the par. Emerson having to make this to have the shot and leaves it a little left.
Yeah, I mean, if Chandler makes this, you can pretty much wrap this one up. It's going to be tough for Emerson to make up 4 strokes in 2 holes. There you go, Fredy with a nice easy birdie look. Going to tap that in.
He really does putt very fast. I guess that's just part of his game there.
Yep, doesn't want to think about it too long, just steps up and sinks it, especially when he's, 15 foot or closer.
So hole 18, final hole on the course, 730 foot par 4. There is a Mando on the left about 300 feet up, kind of where the landing zone is at. Chandler's going to opt with a forehand here. You'll see most players go backhand. And this is looking phenomenal. Nice flare skip. Wow.
I mean, that is more than he even needed on this hole.
Yeah.
With a three-stroke lead, all he's looking to do is take a par, and he pushes it up there, and he's going to actually have a look for birdie to finish this out. Fredy going with the more traditional backhand, doesn't get it turned over enough, drops down parallel to the Mando. So
Yeah.
I believe the players got up there and had a discussion, decided he had not passed the Mando yet, and he's able to pitch back around it. Oh, that looked like a really good angle. Just left it a little too far on the left-hand side and catches some branches sticking out there.
GT with a mid here, early left, same tree. Oh no, he got through the tree, kicks left. He's still going to be able to get around the Mando from there. So one thing to note that this is the hardest hole in the course, and what better way to finish off a round than play the hardest hole. And Emerson really putting a move on this, and he's going to be up there out in the open to look at the up and down.
Maybe letting some frustration there out on this last hole.
GT a little bit too much angle out of the hand. He's going to be off to the left here.
Yeah, so I mean, that's all Fredy can do is just put it back around that Mando. Looking to make a move on the basket here, though. Oh, he did clip a tree. Drops down there. You can see his green disc there on the left underneath that cedar. Interesting to see what Chandler's going to do here.
Rip on a forehand. The
Yep.
thing that Chandler does best. So he'll be up there with an easy up and down. GT just getting out of this tight tunnel here into the open fairway.
And I love that this hole as a finishing hole is so gorgeous when you play at sunset. I mean, you're playing out of this tunnel, the basket's sitting up there on a hill, and the sun is setting perfectly behind it.
Emerson a little tucked off to in the trees here.
I mean, you know he's just trying to throw this in at that point.
Yep. Little touch forehand from GT. He'll have a 15-foot look here.
I mean, with the lead wrapped up, he still gives that one a run and almost cashes the birdie there.
Yep.
Hey, that's a good putt for Emerson to end on. And your final scores here, Emerson going to be at even, coming in second to your winner, Chandler Kramer, at 3 down for the final round. And here is Chandler tapping out. He is going to be your winner of the Hideaway Open B tier out at the Hideaway Disc Golf Course.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hideaway Open 2022 MPO champion, Chandler Kramer.
There you go, Chandler Kramer, your winner at 7 down for the event. Emerson Keith just behind him at 4 down in second. Zane Letts fighting back from the chase card to finish at even for the event in third place. And Jonathan Nicholson at 1 over in fourth place.
Just want to say a quick shout out to the sponsors for this tournament. We've got Dynamic Disc, the Hideaway Grill Terrell, the Hideaway Disc Golf Course, Hand Eye Supply, Tree Love, the Disc Barn, Minuteman Press Rockwall, and the Thunderbird Bar. Once again, thank you guys for joining in coverage for the Hideaway Open here.